everyone. Listen, I apologize for the little video debacle. I told you there would be another video. I'm sorry, I have to adjust here. I told you there would be another video after the last one. Unfortunately, that didn't come. I did get it edited down. I got it shot, I got it chopped, I got it ready to go. Unfortunately, some other stuff came up I had to take care of, so it just didn't happen. Didn't get uploaded. And since then, some new stuff has come to light, so I will probably have to reshoot it. I'm sorry about that, but I'll tell you what. Better than that, I'll tell you exactly what it is while I lay cards out. So, this leans on the tabletop role-playing game aspect of this channel, which I do like once a week or something like that. Anyway, what's going on, very simply put, is that there was a document called the Open Game License. What the Open Game License did was it allowed you, me, or anyone else to create supplements and adventures for Dungeons and Dragons 3rd edition. And, well, that Open Game License turned out to be very beneficial to Wizards of the Coast and D&D, as it kept it alive. Then with 4th edition, they decided we're not going to do that anymore. No one's making anything for us, we're just going to keep it all in-house. And the 4th edition didn't really last as long. It's not a very popular edition also, let's put it that way. So, they reinstated it and said, well, now you can make stuff for 5th edition, which is the latest one you'll see on the bookshelves at Barnes & Noble and whatnot. And people began making them. Now, during the 4th edition thing, it also gave rise to games like Pathfinder and Castles and Crusades. Actually, Castles and Crusades predates all that, by the way. It gave rise to like Pathfinder and many others. And that's when it also gave rise to some old school games like Osric, Basic Fantasy, that sort of thing. And the long and short of it is Wizards of the Coast had been sitting on the older editions. That forced them to open the vault and unvault those editions. It also forced them to do a 5th edition, where they tried to re-welcome the old school crowd back, which of course they went back on almost immediately. It took a little while, but they ended up going back on that. And now there's D&D Beyond, which will be the online platform, the online virtual tabletop, the only way they really want you to play D&D, because they've invested so much in it. And they say it's a leaked draft of the license, which is not true at all. They were supposed to hold for like a couple weeks this has been going around, and unfortunately, this Open Gaming License is anything but open, ladies and gentlemen. Not only does it restrict creators, it will destroy some smaller ones. And when I say destroy, I'm not talking about, well, it'll put them out of business. This is the way some people have made their living, and it's not a terrible thing. Because in fact, some of them have produced better content than what Wizards has been producing in the last couple of years or so, because the books they've been releasing are not good. And so, with that, if you too care about gaming and keeping it open at the table, I'm going to try, I have to go find the links again, but I will have 3 petitions. There will be 3 petitions assigned, one for Open D&D, the other from Ryan Dancey, who wrote the initial Open Gaming License, and one from Grim Jim, who did a fine job in putting out that first petition. I think he was sitting at dangerously close to 6,000 signatures last I checked. But also, Get this out to your friends. Dump D&D Beyond. Dump your subscription to them. Do it now. Because that is what caused Hasbro to delay both their Q&A about it yesterday, and to delay the release of this, and they're going back and rewording some things, but they still do not care. There have been leaks from the company, it's still showing. So please, I implore you, skip everything else. Just, I'll put it right, in fact, you know what I'll do? I'll put it right before my link tree. And of course, as always, if you want a private reading, which looks a lot like this, just jump down to my link tree. Anything 35 and under gets you 2 readings and a birthday reading. Anything over that gets you 4 readings and a birthday reading. So, there you go. That's it. That's all I want to say about it. The gaming stuff is a little more important than any of that right now. So please, by all means, sign all 3, and know that I thank you deeply for doing so. Anyway, let's get to us, right? That's what we're here to talk about, is us. Let's do that. Also, live stream tomorrow, I will have some people from Troll Lord Games, Pickpocket Press, and many others, Venger, and the like, and we will be talking with them about this. So be sure to tune in tomorrow. And share this video out with your friends, because it has a petition attached to it. And more so than the reading, I think that petition needs to be looked at and signed. Let's go with it. Alright. On the day of Friday, we do have the embodiment of Odin. We need to approach things with our wisdom. We need to seek wisdom wherever possible. And that could be learning from the mistakes of others. I wouldn't be surprised to see Othala pop up today. Learning from the mistakes of others, learning from our own past mistakes, and trying not to make those mistakes again. So far, that's what I'm getting from that card, but we are being guided by Skadi. Here's the thing about Skadi. We've been talking a lot about this, did some coverage on this fan backlash thing. Compromise. Compromise is always necessary. You understand it, I understand it, but it should be equal. As a matter of fact, in the stories, in the sagas here, Skadi went to Odin to seek recompense for her father's death, because it was Odin who killed her father. So she went seeking, compensation of some kind of answer, some kind of amelioration to this situation, and she demanded Baldur's hand in marriage. To which he said, "Wait a minute, hold on now. I will let you marry him if you can select him from the rest of the Norse gods using nothing but their feet." So he erected a screen, had all these male gods stand there with nothing but their feet showing. She picked the most beautiful pair of feet. It was not Baldur. It was Njorthur. But, true to the agreement, they were married. And they had to kind of spend equal amounts of time in each other's homes, because one couldn't stand to live in the others for too long. So compromise here. Remember, you already started the Winter Circle with the rune casting this past Wednesday. Now what you've got to do is you got to parlay this. Don't let up. You have certain things that you have to have, and really you can't always get what you want, but sometimes you will absolutely get what you need. And let's see what else is guiding you. Now, this is where you're going to have to place a level of trust in things. There are things that you can do, and things that it's out of your power. And this is where the real compromise comes in, is learning when to just let go. Sometimes just letting go is a great thing, and it helps, because once you've done all you can, then what's left? Do love me some English breakfast tea in the morning. Anyway, let's have a look at your mind, see how your mind's doing. We've got an 8 of Pentacles. We have a Knight of Swords. And we have a 7 of Pentacles as well. right here with this Eight of Pentacles. Right now your mind is focused on your work, your effort, your determination. We do have that kind of effort and determination right now. We really want to see those results. We're putting in that work. But we also are acting very quickly. We have to think very quickly too. And this is a card, this Knight of Swords, that talks about quick thinking. We have to be able to not just take things at face value sometimes. Sometimes we have to examine them, but we have to examine them quickly and make a determination right then and there sometimes. It's weird like that. But the best part is you will know when it's time to do what, and you'll be able to act on it. Now, here's the thing. We also need to be just a touch on the generous side. We need to balance those two things out. The hard, studious work, the quick thinking and quick action. We also need to really kind of ground ourselves just a little bit and say, okay, we can't go too much one way or the other. Are we noticing right here, just in the first 6 cards alone, we have a lot of balance issues coming up that we have to really kind of trust in that kind of, we have to do what we can, but we also have to trust. We have to do the hard work, but we also have to think very quickly. We also have to be very generous without giving away the farm. You see what I'm saying? Physically speaking, a lot of reversals today. So starting with King of Cups. Whoops. Got a King of Cups in reverse. How are we playing? How are we dealing with our emotions right now? Because our emotions are kind of getting the better of us, I think. And if we don't rein that kind of thing in, eventually our emotions will rule us. And that's really where I want to lean on that for just a minute. Have you ever seen someone who is just wrapped up in their emotions? They just can't seem to get out of their own head. They can't get out of their own way, can they? And that's exactly what I'm talking about. Because this is not mastery of those emotions. It's not, this is where you have to weigh emotion and reason, and you're leaning too much toward emotion. And we also have a Queen of Cups in reverse. My goodness, both of them in reverse. So we're not loving unconditionally either. Because both of these in reverse are very telling about us right now. This can affect us physically. These emotions can really negatively affect us if we let them. So I'm looking at these as more of a warning, because right now with that three of Cups, a lot of cups in this one. It's nothing to celebrate. In your real life day to day, you're kind of looking at there's nothing to celebrate. And I'm telling you right now, when this whole thing really started getting underway with that OGL thing, a lot of people didn't want to remain positive. Just this, and you know what, you can go to the Basic Experts video, the live stream he did where they were talking about it. And there was a panel member there who, when John said, let's all try to remain positive, he went, no. And believe me, he had two guys on his panel who really had reason to be upset about this whole thing. So I don't blame them for wanting to. I don't blame you for wanting to wallow in self-pity or self-doubt just a little bit, but eventually you will have to come out of it. And what I've told everyone is, even through all the bad news, I can't help but feel, there was just this nagging sensation, I can't quantify it, that things were going to be okay. Things are going to be alright. However, we still have to do what we can. And that's why, even though I trust that things will be okay, I really have to keep up what I'm doing. And so do you. in your spirit right now. We have a 5 of Cups. We have an 8 of Wands in reverse. And we also have a Knight of Pentacles. Ladies and gentlemen, this is loss without regret. Or this is loss, regret without having learned anything. And that is what's killing you right now. Because now your ideas are either blocked or they're coming very slow. Let me ask you something. What is blocking you from mastering your emotions? What's blocking you from loving unconditionally? What's blocking you from celebrating? What's blocking your ideas right now? Look at those things and ask yourself, do you absolutely have to have that door open for that to happen? I would argue the answer is no. It all comes with a little stewardship which you're not exercising. Why? In order to be good stewards, we have to be able to kind of roll with the punches. We have to learn to adjust. We have to learn to, as the Marines would put it, rise above, adapt, and overcome. Right? Suck it up. Rise above it. I'm seeing a lot of suck it up buttercup in this reading today. I'm not even going to lie to you. Going with your oracle cards, we have Earth Mother. We have a Hunter. And we have a Peacekeeper. Here we go. I love these cards, and I'm going to show you why. Number one, you're going to have to feel that right now you're loved and you're cared for. Okay? We're pointing right at that whale spirit. In fact, this Earth Mother card reminds me of part of the Dragonlance Chronicles that I was listening to last night on the way home, and it was simply that there's a character named Riverwind who's a barbarian plainsman, and he said there are times where, you know, if this had happened, I would have to trust that it's part of a greater plan of which I have no knowledge of. And those were very profound words to me, because it shows that he has a sort of faith about things, right? He understands that there are things that he can do, but there are things that he can do nothing about, and that's what's key. The things you can do nothing about, those are the things you cannot worry about. You have to take a step back from them and say, no thank you. I'm not going to worry about that. However, okay, bear with me on this. All the things that you can do something about, do them. Don't look at the hopelessness of the situation. Look at the hope of it. Right now, Jenny D, another YouTuber, thank you, Jenny D, I raise my cup to you. She tweeted to her audience that they should drop their D&D Beyond subscriptions. And they did, and that's what caused them to move back. Right? The people you think you have nothing in common with will be some of the people who will show you that what they love the most transcends everything else. That's how you turn these cards around. The Hunter is what's next. Track down your fears and your desires. Hunt them down and target them and relentlessly pursue them. And what I mean by that is, do not let your fears and desires hunt you. You hunt them. Your desires should be more than the sum total of your fears. They should weigh more heavily. And here's the thing. Again, we're talking about what we love versus the things we don't. Right? If you love something, if you love a sport more than you don't like the other team, you will play it better. If you like a game more than you don't like some players, you will play that game better. If you love a certain form of media, whether they're books, comic books, music, so on and so forth, your love of that will transcend everything else. The garbage will probably still be there, and it will fail. And if you like making those things, writing those things, creating those things, do it, and do it with the love that you have. You do not need someone else's permission to do that. I should really heed that advice myself. In fact, I'm probably going to. Now, this is the most important part right here. This is the one everyone needs. Let go of the need to be right. Let go of it. I've seen some people here lately still holding on to the gatekeeping is good, this is bad, and all this other stuff. Guys, right now we have bigger fish to fry. And that's why I've not been taking part in any of those discussions. And I caught myself doing it and had to quickly apologize for misunderstanding somebody. I don't need to be right that badly. I don't need that. Okay. Let's look at the runes. We have Kanaz. I'm not surprised. We have Laguz. Here we go again. And we have Yera. Ladies and gentlemen, do I need to explain this? Kanaz, the beacon, the torch, that which lights you up the most. I mean, come on. What else do we need? Remember, we're talking about what we love. We need to be able to kind of go with the flow of things. We need to take that, take the feel of what's going on. You know, you sway back and forth, or you move side to side, you move back and forth. Where is it going? Now, what can you do to kind of maybe change that momentum just a little bit? Go with the flow of things if you can. Don't get swept up in it. Just kind of go with it. Disembark where you need to, because the absolute rewards are worth it. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a great reading to tell us to stop being so hopeless. Stop being so complacent. Stop thinking that everything stops only at a certain point. It does not. Our stewardship needs to be long. It needs to have a very long memory. It needs to have a very wide and long attention span. It needs to have the wisdom associated with it. It needs to have that drive and that passion and that desire and that love for it. But it also needs to be ready to show others the way. This can't be such a full charge that we don't stop for a minute and say, oh, you don't know what's going on. Here, step aside, let us handle it. It does not need that. It needs, come with me, I'll show you. Here, take my hand, I'll guide you there. As a matter of fact, last night, a coworker of mine let me know that he's about to start playing D&D, and I told him, you guys haven't started yet? He said, no. I gave him my email address and my Twitter handle, and I said, hey, tell your friends to contact me before they do anything else. They need to know about this OGL situation. And then past that, whatever they want to do, I can't control their table. Whatever they want to do is going to be up to them. Alright? But that's it. We need to be good stewards. What are you a steward of? What are your greatest fears? What do you want to see most? That was one question I was asked on Twitter. What do you want? What are your greatest hopes for tabletop RPGs this year? And I said to be able to sit around a table and play with friends. To have a good time. To enjoy myself. What are your plans for this year? Ladies and gentlemen, we're not that far into the new year. What are your plans for this year? What are your plans for this weekend? I hope it's spending a little time with us as we discuss this kind of thing. I would love your input. It'll be on YouTube tomorrow, 11:15 a.m. Eastern Time. I hope to see you there. More than anything, more than the cards on my table, more than the books on my shelves, I want to let you know something. I love you all. I want you to take care of yourselves and each other. I want you to just do what lights you up the most. And as always, my friends, shine on.